Okay, starting again. Okay, we're going to talk about aids today. So, ways that we can communicate with the horses and ask them what we would like them to do. Now, to start off with, we're going to talk about rein aids. Now, there's a few different rein aids. Now, the correct way to hold your reins is as demonstrated. Just getting rid of that prop there for a sec. Okay, so we've got our thumbs pointing up on top and going in between our fourth and fifth finger underneath and coming over to loop over the top of our index finger. And this is how we correctly hold our reins. Now, as I said a second ago, I'm not sure if you heard me, a non-yielding rein aid is when we don't give to the horse. It stays firm. So if we are asking them to do something, we hold firm until they give us what we like, and then we yield back. Okay, so non-yielding rein aids, as I said, is keeping pressure until the horse softens or gives you the response that you would like. Okay, now our next rein aid that I'm going to talk about is our sideways asking rein. Okay, so if we're going to turn around to the left, for example, my left rein, to ask him to turn around or curve around to the left, what I would do, keeping my hands in the upright position to start off with, I would turn my wrist inwards, and if needed, bring slightly back towards myself, which, as you can see, he's just given me what I asked, and he's turned around to that side. Okay, good boy. Okay, now the next rein aid that we're going to talk about is a supporting aid or a guarding aid. So when we're going around, say this time we're going around to the right, so our outside rein is always our guarding or supporting rein aid. So in this case, this is my left. So if we're going around to the right, it is my left. So what I do with that one is it is a non-yielding rein aid. I keep it firm, and what it does is as the horse curves around to the right, that rein supports the horse's neck and shoulders as they curve. Okay, and this also works in collaboration with our leg aids as well, which I'll get to in a sec. Okay, so the next rein aid is a yielding rein aid. So if we're standing here and I would like him to back, I've got a loose rein, I then ask, he's done what I asked him to do, and then I yield. So I reward him by yielding. Horses learn from pressure and release. As you could see, I asked him to reverse, he took a step backwards, and I rewarded him by yielding. So that is a yielding rein aid. Okay, so we have yielding rein aids can be used from transitioning back down to a lower gait. So if you're going from a canter to a trot or a trot to a walk, they can also be used to guide the horse where you'd like them to go. Or they can be used, as I said, or as I demonstrated a second ago, to get the horse to back as such. Okay, just moving back into frame a bit more here. Okay, now we're going to discuss, well, there's more horses over there. We're going to discuss our leg aids. So if we're going around to the right on the outside track of the arena, this leg would be my asking leg. Okay, so what I would do, this leg would be asking the horse to curve around to that direction. So if I want him to go around this corner here, from M around to C, what I would be doing is I would be asking him with this leg to work into this shoulder to go around that curve. Okay, so this leg, I will need to keep my heel down, move it back about 10 centimetres behind his girth, and just apply pressure. And this is asking him to move away from that pressure. Now, because it's behind his girth, he's actually going to curve around this way. I'll explain how in a minute. But this stops his back end from just following straight around like this. It will encourage his back end to curve because it works. Come here. Okay. So now just turning around so you can see my inside leg. So my inside leg is what the outside leg encourages the horse to curve around. So what we're going to do is pretend this inside leg, my left leg, is a power pole. So I want the horse to curve around that power pole and bend and flex throughout his body to develop all the muscles in his neck, his shoulders and his back and through over his rump. So because I'm keeping this leg here, this is a guarding or supporting aid. I'm saying, I don't want you to move into that, I want you to go around it. So it's supporting him and guarding him from going sideways. So when I move my outside leg back and I'm asking him, because it's behind this leg, it's asking him to curve around. Now using your leg aids as well, like this in this position, inside leg on the girth, outside leg behind, it also encourages the horse to work into and with collaboration of your rein aids. Okay, so what I'm going to do is when these horses bugger off, I'm just going to walk around and demonstrate just when we apply our aids. So walking around, just keep in contact with his mouth. Now I want him to curve around here in the centre, so I'm going to keep my outside guarding rein steady. He's sideways and asking rein. I'm going to turn my wrist inwards. Not helping. So my outside guarding rein, supporting rein is steady. I'm just asking with my inside rein, just by turning my wrist. I'm also asking him to move into that asking rein with my outside leg just behind his girth, just pushing him into that rein. And because he's bending around that inside leg, he's curving his shoulders and his neck into that outside supporting rein. And that outside rein supports his shoulder and his neck while he's curving around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for a bit of a trot around and just show you what I mean. I'm going to do this in a sitting trot to start off with. I'm asking him with my outside leg. Okay. I'm asking him with my outside leg to curve around and flex around that inside guarding leg. And as you can see, he's bending around that inside leg like a power pole. Now by increasing the pressure on my inside asking rein, that will also encourage him to bend. Now I have exaggerated the asking rein just for demonstration purposes so you can see what I'm doing. And this way it's getting him to flex laterally the way I want him to and develop all throughout his neck and shoulders and his back rather than just turning his neck and having his rump follow. Now so if we're going around the other direction, so my left rein this time is my guarding or supporting rein. My right rein is my asking. My right leg is my guarding leg, so I'm asking him to flex around that leg. As you can see, he's starting to flex better when he's not distracted by those horses over there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him to transition back into a walk. So what I do is I apply a non-yielding rein aid, put the weight down in my stirrups, keeping pressure on near his girth, just applying pressure. So we'll do that in a demonstration. So we're walking around. I'm going to ask him to transition to a halt. I'm going to put the pressure down in my heels, sitting upright, tilting my pelvis forward as if I'm trying to tip a chair forward, and just add a bit of non-yielding rein. When he does what I ask him to do, I then release as a reward. He stopped, so I've released his reins and rewarded him.